While many mid-size crossovers are going to smaller turbocharged engines in the search for better fuel economy, the Hyundai Palisade sticks with a naturally aspirated 3.8-liter V6 paired up to its all-wheel drive powertrain. This makes for really smooth and confident driving in the real world, but it does result in a lower MPG figure at the pump. For today's test, we're going to go and see how that actually compares to some of its rivals in real-world testing. Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor. Today we've got the real-world highway fuel economy test on the 2022 Hyundai Palisade. In today's test, we're going to go out and do 50 miles out and 50 miles back, averaging 70 miles per hour to get a realistic fuel economy number for this larger SUV. Before we get started, let's hop out and take a look at it. Palisade, new a few years ago along with its corporate cousin, the Kia Telluride, took the three-row crossover market by storm. These things are selling really well, and it's no surprise why. Even in this top trim calligraphy model, it's got a lot to offer at a good price. This one coming in about $50,000, but you can find a lot of the models with just about all the features you could be looking for quite a bit less. If you do want to see more on the Palisade, check the links in the description. We've got a test of the Harman Kardon audio system, DM test drive, and a live drive. We also have some content on the Kia Telluride if you want to compare the two of them sort of back to back. I kind of am of the persuasion that I prefer the Palisade, but really it just kind of comes down to looks and which one you can find a better deal on, and in some cases, which one you can buy at all, because these things, like I said, they often sell before they even hit the dealer lot. So why do we do this test? Well, the EPA's highway fuel economy test, which gives this Palisade 24 miles per gallon, that test only averages 48 miles per hour. Side note, look at these roads. Look at that. This is what passes as acceptable here in the state of Michigan. That's awful. So in order to test that, we're going to head over to the gas station here, fill up. We're going to go out and do 100 miles, then come back, fill up at the same pump using the same 3-click fueling method, and get a result. A few things to note for today. Outside temperature is 26 degrees Fahrenheit. The climate control is going to be set at 73 degrees auto. And our tire pressures have been set to their door placard 35 psi cold. All right, let's hop out and fill it up. 4.041 gallons going in for our first fill. Before we actually start the engine, we're going to turn the car on, reset our trip computer and our GPS, and we're ready to begin. A few different drive modes here in the Palisade as our fan kicks up here. You've got Eco, Comfort, Sport, Smart, and Snow. We're going to do this test in Eco. We're going to take it nice and easy over to the highway. It's about half a mile away, and pick up the test from there. The goal of this test isn't to hypermile. We're not trying to get the best possible fuel economy for this car, but rather a realistic number. In order to do that, we're going to get up to highway speed here at a reasonable pace and then set our cruise control at a GPS indicated 72 miles per hour. That should allow us to average 70 over the whole test. We've got a truck coming here, so we're going to lean into this 3.8 liter a bit, use our whole merge lane so that I'm right up to speed as I put on my blinker. Use my nifty little blind spot camera there. That way everything is good and safe. A little bit more wind noise and kind of just general road noise, oh hush, than you might expect for a $50,000 car. But you got to remember that $50,000 is kind of the top spec for this car, and really you could be paying about $40,000, and that price point gets a little bit more understandable for this level of noise. Looks like our speedometer is about 1 mile per hour high on the car. We're going to travel at 73 for a while here. What does surprise me is this Palisade does not have Hyundai's excellent active lane keeping system. For those of you who don't know, even on many of the affordable Hyundai products like the Elantra, the Accent I think even can get this, you have a really good, almost semi-autonomous driving mode. There's a little steering wheel button here, and when you activate it, it will just hold the line for a long time, hold you right in the middle of the lane. This has lane keeping assist, but it doesn't seem to have the active lane keeping feature that is done so well in many of the other Hyundai products. So definitely disappointing not to have that here in this large flagship, if you will, Hyundai product. The other thing that's a bit disappointing not to have is a power adjustable steering column. I get it at $35,000, but I don't quite get it at $50,000. Either way, we're going to continue on with the rest of the tests, see how this thing does, and catch up with you at the end. In the meantime, enjoy this time lapse of the entire trip. Coming into the end of the highway fuel economy test here in the 2022 Hyundai Palisade. Pretty darn accurate according to the car's trip computer, 24.4 miles per gallon. Looks like the revs are sitting just below 2,000 RPM. This 8-speed makes for a good highway cruiser. Only every now and again up hills did it need to downshift to 7th, or I don't think it ever went to 6th, just to get up, maintain speed, if you will. We have averaged 70 miles per hour. It's been a nice smooth test. Comfort's been good. Could go for a little bit more seat cushioning, but I do like how the seat cushion will extend to support longer thighs. That's been nice. Again, wish we had the good Hyundai active lane keeping, but hasn't been too bad. Temperature has been a little on the chilly side. We're registered 72 degrees here by the end, but it took a while to get up to there. So even though the car says 73 auto, only running 72 here at the armrest. We're going to get back to the pump, fill up, and see what number we calculate. 4.301 gallons going in for our final fill. 102.2 divided by 4.301 is giving us 23.7 miles per gallon, rounding up to 24. Right at that EPA figure. A little bit below what the cars read outside. I think we were down to, or rather up to 24.6 by the time we got back here, but pretty darn close. There we go, 24.5. So right in that mile per gallon and a window there, if you will. So not too bad of a figure, but again, some of those other mid-size 3-row type crossovers, you're going to be able to get a few extra miles per gallon, especially if you go with something maybe German. I know with the Atlas we got a few miles per gallon better, although that one was front-wheel drive too. So a lot of different variables, but if you're kind of going EPA to EPA figures, this 3.8 liter, even though it is a really nice engine for daily driving, not going to be the most fuel efficient. I'm of the opinion that if you need to move a lot of people and save money on gas, you go with something like the Toyota Sienna. It's all hybrid now. You're going to see easily 30 miles per gallon on the highway like we did when we tested it. So, but you know, some people like kind of more of the rugged bits of an SUV. So to each his or her own. You do have an 18.8 gallon fuel tank in here, so 18.8 times 24 miles per gallon, so you're giving you an effective highway cruising range of 450 miles here in the Hyundai Palisade all-wheel drive. Thank you all so much for watching. If you want to see more on the Palisade, check the link in the description. We reviewed the Harman Kardon audio system. We got a few other good videos, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.